Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got here. Let me check the connections on this, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Now we can get on this. Let's see what we got. Haven't popped up on one platform yet. I know we're not going to pop up on this one.
Oh,
yeah, you get the message.
What message?
Actually, I got one from I think Smoke. He got bad connection.
Don't get his goofy ass up in here.
You see, he told me time to step. He told me I was trying to step in the stream. You know, I'm gonna run this one. I'm good with you, but I'm gonna run this one. Let's see what else we got here. One more platform. Okay, good. We're live over there.
You're on YouTube.
Yes, YouTube's working. Twitch is working. Facebook isn't. And Twitter isn't. Yet again, it's still. And
I think there's something going on with Twitter, man, to be honest with you, because that's why we've been going on Facebook. That's why we've been going on Facebook a lot lately.
There's been something going on with them since last year.
So.
Okay, good. And we're running on LinkedIn right now. All right, good. Pardon the delay, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Belt Kings Fantasy Football League. I'm Tony D. There's Glick. We are two members of the Daggone Fantasy Football League. Trying to check my connections, trying to wait for some members to show up, but it is a Sunday morning. It is a holiday weekend.
Get up, you lazy son of bitches.
Hey, man, I'm on a professional platform. Watch your mouth. I understand people are busy. People are up. People are probably relaxing, so that's cool. First and foremost, happy Veterans Day to all my fellow United States Armed Forces veterans, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Coast Guard, and the Space Force. We can't forget Space Force. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care how much smack they talk. The Space Force is a part of the Armed Forces and the National Defense. What's up to y'all? For real. All righty, let's get this ball rolling. I missed last week. Last week, pretty much I'm going to put it down as a bye week because I went out of town to go to homecoming at Tuskegee University, a trip that I needed. People I haven't seen in decades. I saw, and they were looking for me. So that was fun. That was interesting. That was excellent. All that good stuff. What do we have as right now? I know we have a game going. Tampa Bay and yeah, go ahead.
Tampa and Seattle out in Munich.
Mm-hmm.
Which Tampa's leading?
How's that game looking so far?
14-3, Tampa Bay's favor. And Geno Smith just got sacked and fumbled the ball. So Tampa Bay is about to get the ball back.
Got you. What we have for the week? Go for it. Go ahead.
My Tom Brady looking good.
That's how it's supposed to be. For the week, ladies and gentlemen, we run the league through NFL.com. The stardom and sit-ems as per their recommendations for each position.
Smart enough.
Without the intro, let's see what we got here. Start Justin Fields against the Lions. What are your thoughts?
Absolutely. You know what? I have been a Justin Fields hater, if you want to say. But this year, he is making me eat my words, so to say. He's looking great this year. I mean, I know they just lost to Miami last week in a tight game, in a good game last week. And at one point, the Miami coach was on the sideline, and Justin Fields had ran out of bounds. And the Miami coach was yelling at him, "Just stop running. Stop scrambling. You're killing us."
Right.
And he was.
Right.
He was absolutely eating up Miami's defense. So against the Lions, if you got Justin Fields and he ain't starting, I don't know what the hell you're thinking as far as fantasy football goes.
Gotcha. Well, actually, last week he put some good numbers last week, from what I saw.
Yeah, he had good numbers. He's been putting up some good numbers. I don't know. I mean, you got your Lamar Jackson, but you never know what he's going to do.
Well, he's staying healthy. He's staying healthy.
He's staying healthy. But
Rick Costa, how you doing, sir? Appreciate you coming through.
You know, I run Lamar Jackson too now since he's been back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping
the audio's starting to glitch.
Is that any better?
Yeah, you good. Just don't touch the mic. You good.
Oh no, I wasn't touching the mic. I've been I've been fidgety lately.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
I'm actually going to say take them against the Lions, mainly because the Lions aren't doing good, even though they started off a couple of good games. But Jesus, Justin Fields, if Justin Fields is going to look this good as a quarterback for that team, the Bears are about to be a problem. He truly is, because they looked good last week. That's just from what I saw. Tua Tagovailoa versus the Browns. Don't even get me started. I'm gonna let you have the first one.
Well, as the resident Browns fan, and as a guy who Lamar Jackson's on a bye week this week, and I have Tua.
Mm-hmm.
He is starting for me, and I know that Browns defense has a tendency to slack in the secondary. Why, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be hit or miss. It's going to depend on which Browns defense shows up. If the same Browns defense shows up that completely smothered and destroyed and had their way with Cincinnati's offensive line and Joe Burrows, then Tua's going to have a crazy day. Mm-hmm. If it's the lackadaisical Cleveland Browns defense, Tua's going to put up some sick numbers this week today. But either way, I would start him.
I was against Tua coming back after that original injury. I'm glad he's playing well. I'm glad he's getting his numbers. I'm still against him playing for his own health reasons, but damn it, he's looking good.
I mean, look, you can't be against somebody coming back from injury. There's been so many athletes that have had far more worse injuries that come back.
I didn't like what I saw. I don't like what I saw, dog. I didn't.
I mean, I didn't like what I saw when Dak Prescott broke his ankle and it looked like a limp spaghetti noodle.
Right.
But
I didn't like what I saw with Joe Theismann. I don't like what I saw with Willis McGahee. I didn't like what I saw with Teddy Bruschi.
Yeah, I didn't like what I saw when Joey B tore every ligament, muscle, tendon, everything in his leg, and then turned around and came back and went to the Super Bowl.
I didn't like what I saw when they tried to break T.O.'s leg. I didn't like when I saw they tried to break Kelvin Benjamin's leg. A hit's a hit, but to intentionally knock somebody out, and two is fragile, in my opinion. I remember when he was in college. So
he's a former Alabama quarterback. Of course, he's fragile.
Yeah, but y'all ain't got no championships over there in Michigan yet, so we'll be all right. Anyway.
No, he's not used to getting hit.
No, I'll give you that. But did you see the hit? Did you see how he was laying on the field?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, he had a muscle spasm when he got hit.
Muscle spasm my ass.
I've been there.
That man had a seizure.
I've jarred my neck at work, smack him in the head on a fucking.
And you're not playing anymore. That's my point.
I am playing. I'm still at work every day.
But you ain't playing football. You ain't going through what he's going through.
No.
Henceforth,
you can't let at the end of the day, it wasn't that major of an injury. You can't let an injury, and we had this discussion. You can't. Guys get injured every week. So what are you going to do if a player gets injured? Nope, you're done. You have to retire. Then you know what's going to happen in the NFL. You and I will be playing in the NFL because they're not going to have any players.
We'll have players, but I'll play.
Because
anyway, The Browns defense, no, I agree with you. They look good against the Steelers. I don't know what the hell's been going on with them. They look good against the Bengals. But this game right here,
they're hot and cold.
NFL.com says go with 2 against the Browns by the numbers. I agree with them. Geno Smith versus the Bucks. Now, this game is actually going on right now. I wouldn't have done this.
I feel bad for you, Brian, if you started Geno Smith.
Well, and I'm going to honestly tell you, Geno was actually looking good as a quarterback. The Bucks defense was actually looking a little suspect a couple of times. I kind of would have agreed with this, but as we have seen currently from the game right now, it's not looking good for Geno. Am I correct?
Oh, I leading into this game, I 100% agree with NFL.com. Start Geno because he's been the Cinderella story this year. I mean, he's been in the league 9 years?
Yes,
and he's had really bad years. I mean, he has not been good. Excuse me. And this has been his Cinderella season that I don't think anybody expected, and he has. I would 100% have started him today, but unfortunately, the Bucks have been riddled with injuries this year, and everybody's starting to come back. So that defense is for today, anyways. They're back, and they are smothering Geno. I think he's. Let's take a peek here at the stats for the game.
If you don't mind, pop that up there.
Oh, I don't have it on mine.
No, I'm just saying. Just tell me what they got going on so far.
It's 14-3. Tampa has the ball. They're driving. Let me see. Geno Smith. Geno Smith's got. He's 15-22, 167 yards, no touchdowns, but he's been sacked 3 times.
Right. That's not good.
And he fumbled the ball.
That's not good at all. Let's be clear. That is not good at all. And in all honesty, in all respects, okay, good. Facebook did kick in. Geno Smith is actually having a good year compared to his rookie season and damn near ever in the NFL right now, in my opinion.
No, that's what I said. As far as his entire career, I mean, he's killing it this year, and I don't think anybody expected it.
I didn't.
Anybody seen that coming?
I must admit, I did not think he was going to make it or he was going to be worth a damn this season. And big ups to him for even breaking a record to solidify next season being to be playing.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's just the truth. He's actually doing something to where he'll be back next year, and him and Pete Carroll are looking good as a combo. I'm excellent with that. I truly am.
Seattle as a whole, for the most part, is looking like a pretty good team. They're 6-3. I mean, as of right now, they're a playoff contender, and I don't think anybody expected it after Russ. After the trade that they made with Denver. Right. And Russ going to Denver, but then again, look at Russ in Denver this year. Russ is on a whole nother planet this year. I don't know what he's doing.
It's not working out for him in Denver, honestly. He'll be traded. Matt Ryan will be traded. Mm-hmm. Based on what we're seeing, those two are gone. We've got Mariota against Carolina, which was a Thursday night game, I believe.
Yeah, that was a Thursday night, and let's see here.
I'm not going to lie. I thought Mariota was going to be good this season. That was my preseason prediction. The record doesn't show it. I know the football that I've seen him play, they looked like they were about to build something out there. I don't know what went wrong. I don't know how things were negative, but things were looking all right in the very beginning. Well, not entirely, but there have been a couple of games where he's looked good. I'm like, all right. I don't think a lot of people have any faith in him. I think it'll work. This is the first season. If he doesn't last, somebody will be able to pick him up. Jeeves, how you living, man? Appreciate you coming through.
Well, he didn't do terrible in that Thursday night game, but for whatever reason, he was 19 of 30, 186 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception, but he did get sacked 5 times.
Right.
Carolina Panthers have come out of nowhere. They started the season just trash. And I'm not saying they're Super Bowl bound or anything like that, but since they got rid of Rule, they have started to look a lot better.
They got rid of Rule. I'm going to go ahead and run down the list. They got rid of Rule. They got rid of Roby Anderson. They got rid of Christian McCaffrey, which is ridiculous.
That blew my mind. I'm loving it because
they got rid of Cam. So you are truly going through a reconstruction. There was a game that they did look good in, not this week, the previous week. or the week before, one of them. So I thought something was happening, but right now they're up and down, back and forth. They're going through an absolute total rebuild. Total rebuild. I think what's going to happen to Carolina, in my opinion, is they are dumping all of their major stars. They are looking very wrong, and we've been saying that since Steve Smith got traded, which is ridiculous. So pretty much, Carolina, call me bandwagon. I don't care. That's for all of y'all out there, but I'm an original Carolina Panthers fan from their inception. I don't know what the hell y'all doing. I have seen you be consistent with players. I have seen you do good with players. But what I'm also seeing is you trading some of your best players to bring in the new ones and to bring in fresh blood. Okay, fine. You've got a good young team. They looked real good against Atlanta. Real good. They look very energized. Seriously, because Atlanta always giving Carolina problems. But y'all do me a favor and get yourselves back together, please. That's just my opinion. The sit-em quarterbacks, Kirk Cousins against the Bills. I'm not going to lie. I would actually start Kirk Cousins.
I would start iced out Kirk Cousins because that man, and I know the Buffalo Bills are this, the Buffalo Bills are that, but y'all did just get beat up by the Jets last week. And
nobody saw that coming, in all fairness. Nobody
saw that coming at all. I don't even think the Jets saw that coming. But the Vikings, sleep on the Vikings this year. They're what, 1 or 2 losses. Kirk Cousins.
I gave the Vikings a decent 500 season as an early prediction for them to be 6-1. Matter of fact, what is their record now, if you don't mind looking?
I think
the Vikings are a shocker. What's up, Hella? The Vikings are an absolute shocker this season. Maybe it's the division. That's why I gave them 500. I figured the only team they were going to have a problem with was going to be the Packers, and the Packers aren't looking good. But
Packers are a mess.
Let me find out Kirk Cousins and that whole squad have gotten comfortable with each other like the 49ers.
Hey, well, that's what it looks like. And
yes,
the Vikings are 7-1, and Cousins is having fun. The team loves him. I mean, after every win, they started earlier this season, like the beginning of the season. Kirk Cousins said something about how you like that, or give it to me, or whatever, and the players started putting their chains on him. So, like, you see the after game parties and stuff when they're celebrating. My man's got like 15 chains on him. He's just iced out, and he's got bracelets and watches. And
because Kirk Cousins is making money, and he ain't really been 500 plus season quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, he's been pretty solid with the Vikings, but these are the players' chains. Like they're putting them on him, and that iced out Kirk,
because he's getting them their yards and their numbers. He's getting his players his numbers. I can respect that.
The team is
he's a decent quarterback, and he was decent when he was with Washington. He just wasn't a superstar. I had no problem drafting him as a fantasy football player. I had no problem watching him play the game. They were just like, he ain't going to do nothing. He ain't going to do nothing. I'll tell you something. The team's happy with him. When the team was happy with Garoppolo, he went to the Super Bowl. When the team was happy with Brady, he went to the Super Bowl. Y'all better watch Minnesota, in my opinion. You better watch Minnesota, in my opinion. I would start him. I know why they say don't, because of the Bills' record, but damn it, I would start Kirk Cousins my damn self. Brady against the Seahawks, we pretty much just ran through that. To me, it would have been a no-brainer. You damn right I would have started him. I know the Seahawks are doing good, but Brady is Brady. I didn't like him when he was in New England. I'm glad he left. So I'll be a bandwagon fan of this fool while he's down there in the Buccaneers, because he also got the Super Bowl. He got a team that loves him. He's in a comfortable environment. I know he just went through a divorce. Bet against Tom Brady if you want to. That was 7 years ago. You're going to lose your money. I'm not even going to waste any time. Aaron Rodgers against the Cowboys. It don't look good for Aaron Rodgers. I said it.
Oh, speaking of the Cowboys.
Uh-oh.
Nancy, I just want to say thank you.
Uh-oh. Oh, God.
I just want to say thank you, Nancy. I know they were on a bye week last week, but you should have just put them on your bench, and you didn't. So Captain Free Agency over here swooped in and picked them right up off free agency. Number 1 defense in the damn NFL, and you drop them because of a bye week?
She had to. The hell you laughing at? Everybody does that. I would not start Aaron Rodgers against the Cowboys. I
wouldn't start Aaron Rodgers against anybody right now. That team is
against the Cardinals. This actually scares me. I don't blame this prediction, because as good as Stafford is, I don't think he's back to 100%. I'm not sure. I haven't really seen too many Rams games. I missed a lot of highlights last week. And Arizona DeAndre Hopkins is back.
Yeah, D-Hop is back. I think the Rams are going through the same situation that the Bengals are going through.
Mm-hmm.
They got that Super Bowl hangover, and the Rams.
I don't know what's going on with the Rams.
Yeah, they've been struggling this year.
This is not a Super Bowl hangover. I think they got exposed in the Super Bowl because they couldn't get the run game going for nothing.
They never really had much of a run game, in my opinion. I'm sorry, Cam Akers he gets a lot of hype, and now I don't even think he's going to play the rest of the season, or if he does, it's going to be limited. Well, he demanded a trade, and they wouldn't trade him, and he said he was going to sit. Last week he played like 10 snaps. Henderson taking over the lead back role, but unfortunately for the Rams and the Rams running backs, they don't try to establish a run game. They've got Cooper Kupp. They got Cooper Kupp and Higbee and they want to throw the ball all over the field.
Well, because the run game was getting exposed, and I saw that in the Super Bowl. Everything was short past the Kupp, and then a couple of OBJ. That was the Super Bowl.
They haven't had OBJ this season.
No, they haven't. And I said it before. I'm going to say it again. May no disrespect come to the Bengals because they played in that Super Bowl. Win or lose, them boys played well.
Oh, yeah.
They played very, very well.
They played well. What killed the Bengals is their quote-unquote beefed-up offensive line that still Joe Burrow is one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the league this year.
In the league.
And drafted.
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, those are your quarterback recommendations for Week 10, according to NFL.com. We are now going to the running back recommendations for Week 10, according to NFL.com.
They upheld the call upon review.
Yes, we know. Start them. They recommend starting Jonathan Taylor against the Raiders. I don't know because
game update is down. Score update is 21-3.
Yep. Bucks. Yeah, they're gone. They're running that game. I think I don't trust going against the Raiders in fantasy football and in regular football because they can win or they can lose either way. You have no idea what to expect from them.
But I mean, isn't JT just a standard stardom at this point? Like you're always, if he's on your bench, if he's on your roster, you start him.
Yes,
regardless of who they're playing.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's going to get points no matter how bad the Colts are.
He'll get points, and I give you that for the point variable of fantasy football. But for the game aspect of it, I find this to be iffy. However, that's what they say. Now, Dante Foreman against the Falcons. This was the Thursday night game. Dante Foreman looked damn good. He had a field day against the Falcons.
At this point, and Cam and I were just having this discussion because he was like, at this point, I'm not even mad that or I'm not even missing CMC. And I was like, all right, well, first and foremost, Foreman look at his fantasy record. I mean, this season, I mean, he unfortunately has not got to play a lot.
He is now.
He is now. I said, but let's see if they hold up and if they keep going.
They're going to hold up.
Second of all,
team,
if I was you, I would be mad that CMC is not there anymore because he's killing it in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, his second game in San Francisco, the man threw a touchdown pass, caught a touchdown pass, and rushed for a touchdown.
That means they gave it to him. They gave him the ball.
And that's what Carolina wasn't doing. And he was still putting up 20-plus points a game. And Carolina wasn't giving him the ball.
And spoiler alert, I tend to forget. CMC went home because he went to Stanford.
Yeah.
He went home.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going to get to this. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and do it right now. My Super Bowl prediction has changed.
How did your Super Bowl prediction change? You had like 17 of them.
First of all, stop being jealous because I've been thinking. Second of all, the San Francisco 49ers right now are a Super Bowl team. Is there any other team in the NFL that is a Super Bowl team? It used to be the Bills, but they in injury problems right now.
I would still say the Bills.
Okay,
I wouldn't sleep on the Bills yet.
I wouldn't sleep on the Bills or the Chiefs right now, but the NFC, I was going with Philly being up there. But 49ers are solid and in place to be in the Super Bowl as of 2 weeks ago.
49ers are solid. The 49ers are definitely solid. Right now, you said the Eagles, man.
Yes.
Right now, speaking
Right
not into the future, well, kind of into the future, but right now, who's going to stop Philly? They're running through people.
The 49ers.
But, I mean, they're not going to see each other.
And I'll give you another NFC spoiler that could stop Philly. The Vikings, we just talked about.
Well, yeah. But, again, the Vikings and San Francisco aren't going to see Philly until potentially playoffs, right? They don't play each other in the regular season. So,
exactly. I give them top 3 NFC right now.
I like that top 3 right now. Niners, Vikings, and Eagles, not in any particular order. I like that.
Yeah. And Eagles have been solid from the beginning, so they got to catch Philly. But San Francisco has built themselves to be there, and Minnesota's looking like it. Pretty much in that order. The Bucks, you still got to get up there. The Cowboys, you still got to get up there. New Orleans, you're probably going to get jinxed, and I hate to say it because they keep jinxing y'all every damn playoff.
Well, right now the Bucks are. They're not out of it in that division. Tampa Bay, New Orleans, Atlanta, and Carolina. It's kind of a dumpster fire. To be 100% honest with you, that's anybody's division right now. Anybody can step up and take that division. But if Tampa Bay's coming back healthy and they're getting everybody healthy again, they might turn around to be a force to be dealt with in the NFC again. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens there.
I'll let you know. You can enjoy yours.
But I don't disagree with that top 3. Right now,
appreciate
it. You can't disagree. I mean, if you watch football, you see what's going on. You see what's happening, and those 3 teams are doing something. And I don't think a lot of people seen it at all. Didn't expect it from those 3 teams.
I don't think anybody expected Minnesota to be good. San Francisco was kind of but 49ers were built.
San Francisco they stay consistent. I'll give San Francisco that. They stay consistent. Throughout the
Jimmy G instead of Trey Lance, they started playing like they were supposed to. We got to remember they got everybody who was there in the Super Bowl in the first place, plus Christian McCaffrey. Plus Christian McCaffrey. That is solid.
And they're using Christian McCaffrey.
Yes.
They're not afraid to use him and just.
Well, he's ready to play. That's all it is to it. Jamal Williams against the Bears. He'll get
even though he
get his points. Okay, good. Yeah.
Even though he's on the Lions, yeah,
he'll get numbers. That's a no-brainer. He'll get numbers. The Bears are 3-6. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. David Montgomery. Now see, this is crazy. You're gonna start both of the running backs of opposing teams against each other and recommend them. Okay.
Look at the teams. Look at the defenses.
Well, look at the fact that they're getting fantasy football points, fantasy football numbers. That's what they're discussing. So these 2, I'll go ahead and look at their records. Jesus Christ. And that's all it is too. The Sidhams, and I hate to see this because Najee Harris was my number 1 pick as a running back in the NFL because he is just as big as Derrick Henry. He can play just as hard as Derrick Henry. And now you want me to sit him. Y'all killing me. I said it. Y'all killing me.
I have been telling you, and nothing against Najee Harris, nothing against Najee, but that Pittsburgh offensive line is a disaster, man.
You said it.
And you cannot. I told you that last year when you were on him. And yes, like you. Nothing against the guy. You put him on a different team with an offensive line, like you put him on. We're just gonna keep it in the division. You put him on Cleveland, and he's a monster.
You put him on the Browns, he would have been a monster.
Yeah, so I said you put him on Cleveland, he's a monster. You know, but that Pittsburgh offensive line the last 3 years or whatever has just been just ugly, just gross, disgusting.
And if you're going to put on the offensive line over the player, I'll halfway give you that. But I still got faith in the player the same way people have faith in Derrick Henry. He gets his numbers. But Tennessee Titans don't have the best record, but Derrick Henry damn sure gets his yards. He just broke another record this season, didn't he?
Henry?
Yeah.
If he broke another record, he broke one of his own records. I don't know. That man's always breaking records.
I think he broke a Tennessee Titans record.
Yeah, that man's always breaking records. Speaking of broken records, and we already spoke on him earlier, last week Tom Brady became the first quarterback to throw for 100,000 yards.
Yeah. That's what he's in there for, to be the best in everything, in every category. That's what he's doing. We already got that. All they got to do is protect him. Because the more records he breaks, the more money he's worth, and the more he looks out for his team because of what he's worth over his contract. I got what Tom Brady's doing. I understand that fully, and the teammates love him, respect him, want to play with him. That's how you end the hate against somebody. That is how you end the hate. Even when Mike Evans is going to go fight for him, that says a lot about the man over any aspect or stereotype we got against him from opposing teams. It was hilarious against the Jaguars. That's a no-brainer. Any questions?
Are these the sit-ems?
These are the sit-ems, yes.
Yeah. The Chiefs are a pass heavy team, anyways, and Jacksonville, their defense. You know, I've been joking around calling them Saxonville this year. I'm not the only one. That's a smothering ass defense. They will shut down a run game real quick and in a hurry. So yeah. And the Chiefs, like I said, they're a pass-heavy game. Right? You know, they're a pass-heavy team anyways. So I can't imagine he's going to do much.
No-brainer. Devin Singletary against the – we just discussed this. So in the past few games, he's been held.
I was going to say, as a guy who has Devin Singletary and continues to start him every week, if you don't have to start him, sit him. He's not doing anything. Buffalo pass-heavy.
Mind you, he was highly recommended at the beginning of the season as a fantasy football pick.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I have him. I've started him every week, but it's not because I wanted to. It's more because I have to, because there's no other running backs out there.
Right.
So
sit Brian Robinson against the Eagles. That's a no-brainer to me. No disrespect to Brian Robinson, but the Eagles too solid this season.
Yeah,
too solid.
Give me 1 second.
You good. I'm going to run through the rest while you're doing that. Ladies and gentlemen, those are your running back predictions according to NFL.com for Week 10. We will now go to the wide receivers.
You need a bet that's
While Glick is handling all of that, start A.J. Brown against the Commanders. I don't think that is a question. I don't even think that's an issue. It's the Eagles and it's the Commanders. Now the Commanders are 4-5. I actually had them coming up as a sleeper. They're still in place to be a sleeper. But the Commanders seem to be falling apart more than they seem to be getting themselves together. I see them trying to remain in contention. I do like the coach. The numbers aren't working in their favor. Christian Kirk for the Jacksonville Jaguars against the Chiefs. I would find this to be risky. Will he get the ball? Sure. Can he be stopped? Yes. I'm not sleeping on the Chiefs at all. I'm not. I find this to be a risky prediction personally. Even though Jacksonville is having moments here and there, this is kind of risky to me. But if they say start him, that's their recommendation. Chris Olave or Olave for the Saints versus the Steelers. No, you good. The Steelers secondary, I know there's been an issue before. I don't know if it still is, but if they say start him,
the Steelers.
The only way I would start Chris Olave over the Steelers with him being on the Saints is if Taysom Hill is quarterbacking. That's the only way I would start him. Andy Dalton seems to be predictable. I hate it for him because I like him as a quarterback.
He hasn't been doing too bad but right now New Orleans is in one of these. Are we going to start Dalton or are we going to start Winston? What are we going to do? Oh, we're just going to throw Taysom in there and let Taysom play every position on the offense.
They can't keep Taysom healthy because he's their best quarterback right now. Jameis Winston is not 100%. Andy Dalton is old. I like Andy Dalton. He's got some age and time under him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just all it is to it. But Taysom Hill is the future quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. They need to stop playing. He's a dual threat quarterback.
Well, I mean, he's a utility knife, man. He can do a little bit of everything. He can run. He can throw. You put him in a tight end position, and he can run routes and everything else. So,
yes.
But the Saints don't utilize it. They don't utilize him at all. I mean, it's so up and down every week whether Taysom gets any play or anything else, or if they go to him. And it's frustrating, especially if you have Taysom on your fantasy football team, like I do in 2 leagues, and you don't know to start him or bench him, and then you start him and he puts up 3 points, and then you bench him, and then he puts up 40 points.
Cheap plug.
Cheap plug.
Cheap plug.
That's what it is.
Like I do. Brock.
I'll judge you this morning, Tony D.
I'm judging the hell out of you. Jerry Jeudy against the Titans. I don't think I do. He's been playing well. Okay.
No disrespect. Yeah, no disrect to Jerry Jeudy. He's not a good fantasy pickup. He's not a good
right
fantasy
here. He is.
player.
According to this right now, he is. According to this, he is. I do like the Titans. We don't like what we're seeing from Russell Wilson, but apparently he's still getting his numbers. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And this is how they justify themselves. I'm not mad. If you're a double-digit player in fantasy football, you're worth the money. And Jerry Jeudy is definitely a double-digit fantasy football points getter. No question there. Yes, Wakanda forever. If you're going to the movies, go see it. I'm still going, damn it. I don't care. I want to see the movie. I said it. No woman, no cry. Okay, let me keep going. Sit 'em. Michael Pittman versus the Raiders. Well, we were just talking about that a minute ago. Yeah, I threw that all the way in there. Against the Raiders, I'm very risky. Will he get points? Probably. But who's his quarterback? Which is why he probably won't get any points. And it's the Raiders. You never know what you're going to get with the Raiders. You never know what you're going to get with the Raiders. They say sit 'em. Sam Ellinger.
You really...
Okay. Exactly.
Yeah, you have no idea what you're going to get with Raiders. So.
No, you don't. Sit Adam Thielen against the Bills.
I like Adam. Typically, he's again plug.
He saved my season.
Typically,
I'm not going to lie. He saved the hell out
of
my
season. Typically, I do draft him, and I do like having him on my squad. But the last 2 years since they've got Justin Jefferson, it's hit or miss with Thielen.
It's been 3 years since they had Justin Jefferson, isn't it?
I think it has. I think it's his 3rd season.
3rd or 4th.
Thielen was still getting
with 4th. I want to go with 4th. I do. I think I want to go with 4th. I think he's been there more than just 2 or 3 seasons. I might be wrong though.
Well, he was on that LSU team with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase.
Right.
So
okay.
I think 3rd or 4th season.
I got you. I hate to say it. I have to sit him. Okay, that's what they say. Drake London against the Panthers. So he's not getting any numbers. Good player, but he's not getting any numbers. Basically. And that's the same narrative.
Who's that?
Drake London. Until we see his role change and he gets more consistent volume, this is true. Wan'Dale Robinson, Giants wide receiver against the Texans. Against the Texans, you're going to drop somebody. That is disrespectful. Well, because they run the ball more than anything. Okay, I can understand that. All right, that's your start on the sit-ins for the wide receivers, according to NFL.com for week 10. Let us now go to the tight ends. Oh, this is going to be a kicker.
Start him to Brady's right hip.
This is going to be a kicker. Kyle Pitts against the Panthers. I don't know what his numbers were in the Thursday night game because this was the Thursday night game.
Let's take a peek. I don't. Where are my players at? There he is.
And I'm reading the narrative. So he's not getting any numbers. Great player, but he's just not getting any numbers.
He's not getting any numbers. I mean, he's really not. He's had a couple double-digit games,
right?
But
you want him on the field. He's just not doing what you want him to do. Got it. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. And we all have to agree that Mariota needs to be protected, so he's probably blocking more than anything. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he's one of those tight ends that he's got to get touchdowns. He's a touchdown. As far as fantasy points go, you need him to get touchdowns, and he's got 2 touchdowns on the season.
That's fair. Tyler Higbee against the Cardinals. Let me be honest. I'm always worried about the Cardinals defense. I'm very wary of the Cardinals defense. Anytime I do any type of fantasy football.
It's a suspect defense.
No, they're not suspect. They just can mess up your players. They can mess up your star players' points.
Mm-hmm.
They can mess up your star players' points. Arizona's been pretty solid on defense for the most part. And you want to start Tyler Higbee over him? Okay. Well, here we go. If Noah Fant has taught us anything, it's that you start tight ends against the Cardinals. 14.6 fantasy points. The Cardinals are the best matchup a tight end can face. So even after Higbee scored no fantasy points, he is a start because of the matchup.
Yeah. Well, Higbee's averaging about 8.5 points a game. He's ranked 17th as far as tight ends go. But again, Rams, pass heavy. He's going to be a factor.
Yeah, that's it right there. Cole Kmet against the Lions. He had a good game a couple of weeks ago, I think.
He has started to emerge.
He's finally getting the ball. That's why.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I think he had an injury that he came back from.
Yes, he did.
But he is starting to and it's not just so much him. I'll say it as a whole. That Bears offense are finding their identity. Kmet is averaging about 6.5 points a game. He's ranked 21. But last week against Miami, he was targeted 6 times, caught the ball 4 or 5 times, and had 2 touchdowns for 41 yards.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's 22 fantasy points for a tight end, which is awesome. Before that, he just kind of lingering around. He had 2 games at the beginning of the season, nothing. But he's 6, 4.5, 8 points, 2.5 points, 5 points, and now you start to see as the Bears are learning who they are. A lot of these players on that Bears offense are starting to come around and put fantasy points up, and he's become one of them. He's becoming a safety net for Justin Fields, much like Lamar Jackson. Justin Fields is a mobile quarterback. He likes to run around. When you get in trouble, who does Lamar Jackson look for?
The tight end.
Mark Andrews. He looks for Mark Andrews.
Pretty much your mobile quarterback is always going to look for the tight end, which is a given. We understand that fully.
And Cole has showed himself to be reliable.
There you go. Cade Otton, Tampa Bay Bucks tight end against the Seahawks. I think I saw him get a touchdown last week.
Yeah, I think he's a rookie.
I think he's a rookie too. And Gronk's not playing. Didn't Brake get hurt this season?
I think he was one of the ones that wound up getting injured, but at the same time, Cameron Brate he's no Gronk, but he's not
a Gronk, but he's
not very reliable.
He's been there. He hasn't been getting the ball. He's been there. He's been a blocking tight end more than anything. He's been there for a couple of seasons.
Updated the game.
I would have started him. Yeah, I see we got an update on that.
16-21 with 4 minutes left to play. So Brady's about to run the clock for the last 4 minutes.
Well, here's the kicker. The Seahawks showing they're still alive. I can respect that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean,
Knox against the Vikings. Go ahead.
Just sit Dawson Knox. Period. Don't start him.
I hate to say it. What do you mean ever? He's on my watch list. He's on my watch list. I had him and Dalton on my watch list for 2 seasons. No, sir.
Dalton Schultz and Dawson Knox. Guess whose leagues or teams they're on?
Yours.
Yes.
Well, Dalton Schultz got hurt.
He's back in the starting lineup. Mm-hmm. He's the only reason he's back in the starting lineup for me is because Dak's back. And Dalton is Dak's best friend on that football field.
Cooper Rush's tight end was going to be Dalton. There's going to be Jake Ferguson, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Those two will be worse than that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate to say it like that, but they had a first string, they had a second string that was going to be – Dallas actually has two good offensive units. Seriously. If the first stringers don't do it, the second stringers can, and I got to give Dallas that because I think we see it very well.
Dawson Knox,
Dak, Zeke, and Dalton Schultz. That's the first string.
Mm-hmm.
Your second string is going to be Cooper Rush, Jay Ferguson, and Tony Pollard.
Mm-hmm.
The wide receivers are already solid. We got that. But they actually have two decent offenses sitting in place to do anything.
No, exactly.
That makes them a threat. Yeah, that makes them a major threat. He's the
man
says Dawson Knox because he got him on the squad. I'll listen to you on that one. I'll listen to you.
Well, Knox is ranked 24th in tight ends, and he's averaging about 7.2 points a game.
Gotcha.
So,
Mike Gesicki versus the Browns. Now I always get Gesicki off
man,
of
right there, Gesicki.
Or I always get him out of free agent market when somebody goes down. He does bring a super low floor every week. This is true. He doesn't get a whole lot of points. This is true. But I'll be damned if when he gets a touchdown, I don't get mad. Because Dolphins, as much as they don't have a decent team, them players going to get some points because they spread the ball all over the place. And here we go playing against your Cleveland Browns.
Well, they do, and I wouldn't say Miami doesn't have a decent team because they look pretty good this season. Gesicki's ranked 15th. He's averaging about 7.8 a game. Last year, before the addition of Tyreek Hill, start Gesicki every week. That man was a beast last year. This year, he's had some solid games, but they have more passing options in Miami now.
I agree 100%. I agree 100%. That's just all it is to
it. They just gave Gesicki a nice little. They gave Gesicki a nice little contract down in Miami.
Well, he earned.
They're not using him like they used to. Oh yeah, no, he earned it.
They got a whole bunch of offensive weapons on the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. You got Tua. I forgot who they got a damn running back. I forgot who they got down there. But yeah, Miami's
again, I don't think it really matters who running back is in Miami because they have become a very pass-heavy team. And Tua's mobile, so he can run around and make things happen.
This is true. True. Jawan Johnson versus the Steelers. Yeah, he did have a crazy touchdown. I remember that. I remember that. He had a crazy touchdown that game. That was bananas.
Are these the startums or sit-ems? These are sit-ems.
These are the sit-ems, yes.
Okay, yeah.
I think that's wild. But then again, you don't never know what you're going to get with the Steelers defense either. Robert Tonyan against the Cowboys. Yeah, I'd sit him.
I'd sit him all year. Don't even look at Robert Tonyan. Don't even let
I'm not going to say that, but against Dallas, I'd sit him. I'd sit him against Dallas.
This year, that Green Bay team, don't. If you need a tight end because your tight end's on bye week, get Dawson Knox.
Yeah.
Don't get Tonyan.
Well, I would get Tonyan because Aaron Rodgers seems to make things happen. He ain't winning no games, but his players seem to get the ball. That's always been his rep. Ladies and gentlemen, those are your tight ends. Week 10, NFL.com recommendations. We're going to go to the defenses and then call it a daggone week. This is going to be interesting to me as far as who they predict because the kicker's already a given based on the team. And we ran through the teams for the most part already. Start the Dallas Cowboys defense against the Green Bay Packers. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a no-brainer.
Start Dallas Cowboys, number one defense in the league.
Let me just go ahead. This is a no-brainer. This is a no-brainer. Look at the Packers' record. Aaron Rodgers wants to be traded. This is a no-brainer. Okay, I'm done. The Raiders against the Colts. Now, I just talked about this not too long ago. You never know what you're going to get against the Raiders. And the Colts are in shambles. They're not even trash. They are just in shambles. This is a no-brainer to me. I'm sorry. Arizona Cardinals against the Rams. We just spoke on this. The Rams were exposed in the Super Bowl. In my opinion, they have no real run game. No disrespect to their players. But people know how to stop your run game. And it's the Cardinals. I'm very wary of the defense every damn week. I would start the Cardinals. No problem. The Saints against the Steelers. You know why? I'm going to go ahead and say this. I bet you the next pick is going to be start the Steelers defense against the Saints. because both of these teams, are just. Let me see. God dang it, they didn't do it. Okay, fine. Start the Saints defense against the Steelers. No problem. I would also start the Steelers defense against the Saints because if Andy Dalton's out there, you know your defense is going to get points, right? You saw that a couple of weeks ago. You already know who he's going to throw the ball to. And if he ain't giving the ball to Alvin Kamara, you probably going to get an interception off of his ass.
Mm-hmm.
And if Alvin Kamara gets hurt, let me go to sit there. Stop it. Shit. Sit him. Sit the Vikings defense against the Bills. I wouldn't.
I would agree with that, and I only agree with that for one very specific reason.
Go.
I think this is going to be a very high scoring game.
Go.
You have two teams that have arguably two of the best wide receivers in the league. Vikings with
look at
Jefferson.
these records. Look at these records, honestly, though.
Yeah, but
these are pretty much playoff records that are going against each other. And quite frankly, I would start both defenses against each other. Mainly because as good as Minnesota is doing, it's not like you don't know what they're going to do. And the Bills, as much as you got the ball all over the place, all you got to do is have a spread defense that's 100%. This is a man-to-man coverage football game. This is a man-to-man coverage football game. I would not zone defense nothing on this game.
And that means that your defense is the more points that are scored on that game, the less points you're going to get defensive-wise, the more yardage and stuff like that. So both of these defenses this week, if it plays out like most people think it will in this game, both of these defenses are going to be a risky start. What's going on, Ted Hicks?
My man Ted is in the house. What's good? What's good? Who is this LinkedIn? Oh, boy. Who we got here? First of all, I want to thank you for being my first LinkedIn commenter.
Oh, that's Gabe.
Let me see who this is.
Oh, you could have got an easy touchdown, White.
I can't see who you are. I can't see who you are over there on LinkedIn. Drop that football knowledge. I don't know who this is. I can't see who it is. Oh, you low down, no good. Sorry, somebody. Put your name in the chat. I can't see who it is. What's going on to LinkedIn? Drop in a comment. I appreciate it. Ted, I know you're busy, man. Just let the door open for any and everybody. What else we got here? The Chargers against the 49ers.
Yeah, sit them. You know the 49ers are going to do their damn thing. We already discussed that earlier.
Here's the kicker. Oh, that's my man Randy. Randy, what's good, bro? For those of you that don't know, me and Randy go back to high school. We go back to high school. I see you on your way out. I appreciate you coming through. My man Randy is in the house. Good seeing you, dog. The Chargers against the 49ers. This is where I would agree with them. The 49ers can run the ball more than they have to throw it.
They can run the hell out of the ball now.
I don't think you're going to stop the 49ers run game. They got runners all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to agree with this and not even elaborate anymore. I think I'm going to sit the Green Bay Packers against the Cowboys. I want to say yeah.
Yeah, set them. Again, thank you, Nancy.
You ass.
I'm being nice.
Sit the Packers against the Browns. Would you?
Yeah, I would, because that offense. Okay, again, resident Cleveland Browns fan, and call me a homer if you will. The Cleveland offense is solid, and they're going to put points on the board.
Right.
And if they and Miami, I'm sorry, but if Cleveland gets a hold of a lead, they're going to beat the hell out of your defense. They are going to kill them with that run game.
Rick, I'm not surprised.
And that's what they've been doing.
Don't worry. Mm-hmm. Well, I would actually start the Dolphins against the Browns because the Browns, what are they doing offensively for the most part?
Browns offensively?
Mm-hmm.
Doing everything. What do you mean?
So here's my thing. If they're doing everything, you know what you're going to get. Why would you not put your defense in place to catch a gap an opportunity
The defense,
because the Browns will throw the ball. Correct.
The Browns will throw the ball.
Yes.
Amari Cooper is the Amari Cooper that everybody thought we were going to get when he came to Cleveland.
Yes.
Donovan Peoples-Jones has proven himself time and time again. Even when we had Jarvis Landry and OBJ, DPJ proved himself to be better and more reliable than both of them. And nothing against those two guys because I love those two guys and I love. And we got Anthony Schwartz, who last year was his rookie season, and he struggled with catching the ball. I mean, on paper, the guy's faster than Tyreek Hill. This year, he's catching the ball.
Okay.
And then we got the three tight end that David Njoku is unfortunately he's still out. Hopefully he'll be back next week. But Harrison Bryant and the other kid, I can't think of his name right off the top of my head. So they can pass the ball. They can throw the ball all over the field, and Jacoby Brissett will. But their MO this season is get the lead and then just kill a defense with the run game because Nick Chubb is an absolute monster. And he's not running around people. He's running through people.
He's got to get the ball. Yeah, he's got to get the ball. When he does get the ball, I agree, but he's got to get the ball.
And Kareem Hunt, he's going to do his damn thing. He's going to be out there
breaking. Once he gets the damn ball, if he gets the ball and he's supposed to, you all will be in the playoffs like you're supposed to be.
Well, and that's the thing. They got away from the run game, but now the last couple of weeks they've come back to it, but they still utilize the hell out of the run game or the pass game because they can. I mean, so to sit or start Miami is kind of a flip of a coin because I mean I don't know. Let me take a peek here. Miami, I don't know what their defense is doing this year. They're ranked 23rd. They're averaging about 4.2 points a game. Yeah, I mean they've got one game against New England where they had 19 points. And then they got 11 points against Pittsburgh. They didn't get any points against Detroit. They got -1 against the Giants. They didn't get any points against Cincinnati. -8 against Baltimore. So as far as our division goes, they've only gotten 2 defensive points as far as the going against the AFC North. And Cleveland is a better team than Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. And they're probably subpar with Baltimore. So just going off of that.
I'm trying to sit here and remove this damn spam message on my.
Oh yeah, should be able to just delete it.
Well, I'm reporting them. I ain't asked for that crap.
So Miami's defense is not much like Cleveland. Offense is doing its thing. Miami's offense is doing its thing, but the defense is kind of lackadaisical. So
there it is. If you know, you knew. All right.
So I wouldn't start either one of those defenses today.
Gotcha. Those are your defenses. NFL.com, Week 10 recommendations. I'm not going to run through the kickers. I'm not going to lie. You know who your team is. By now, you ought to know who you should have as a kicker, in my opinion.
Yeah, kickers, and this has kind of been my fantasy football thing. Kickers and defenses, unless you get Dallas is a starter no matter what on defense.
Tampa Bay is a starter, Kansas City is a starter, Baltimore is a starter, Buffalo is a starter.
Well,
Buffalo's a starter. They're getting downfield. Win or lose, they're gonna get downfield.
But
did you freeze? He froze. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Come on.
Defensive kickers are interchangeable. They're a little interchangeable. You can swap them out, and you think you're going to be okay for the most part. They're not like your skill positions, like your quarterbacks and running backs and wide receivers. Even tight ends, you can sometimes be considered interchangeable, unless you get a Travis Kelce or a Mark Andrews.
Agreed.
something like that, you know, or Kittle. Yeah, but even tight ends are interchangeable. So,
right. Gotcha. Well, that's the week. We're almost at an hour. Glick, I want to thank you for coming through. Everybody else, I know Ted's been busy with the family. I know Smoke's out the country. Everybody else is probably doing the family thing or the church thing. So catch the replay. We got 30 minutes before the first game. Actually, 30 minutes before the main card started happening. We had an early game this morning. We had a Thursday night game. I want to thank everybody who's been coming through. Rick Costa, my man Randy, Ted, Helen. Who else we got up in here? Jeeves was in the house.
Buccaneers won, by the way.
Check us on YouTube. Check us on Twitch. I don't know why the Twitter link still isn't working. I'm probably going to have to do another one. On Facebook, I got that over there as well. But we up in here. Thank you all for coming through. Maybe we'll do something tonight since I ain't got to be at work till tomorrow afternoon. Other than that, I will see you and everybody around. You all take care of yourselves. Go enjoy some football. Catch